Nothing is impossible for God. The size of your faith does not determine the size of your blessing. People believe that if they have great faith, their blessing will be greater. The disciples thought the same way, which is why they asked Jesus to increase their faith, Luke 17, verse 5. However, Jesus had to correct them and tell them that the problem was not their lack of faith, but the fact that they had no faith at all. If you had faith, even as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this tree, "Be uprooted and thrown into the sea," and it would obey you. Luke 17, verse 6. The great lesson to be learned is this: what makes you prosperous is not your great faith, but your faith in a great God. God is infinitely powerful, almighty. So stop looking at what you cannot do and start looking at what God can do. What is impossible for man is possible for God. Luke 18, verse 27. Faith pleases God, and unbelief puts him in a bad mood. Faith is necessary to please God. Hebrews 11, verse 6. God was angry with Moses on 2 occasions. The first time was at Horeb when he appeared to him to entrust him with the mission of being the deliverer of his people. Exodus 4, verse 14. Why was he angry? Because Moses did not believe that God would be with him to accomplish the mission. The second time was when he struck the rock. Deuteronomy 1, verse 37. God explained the reason for his anger. Because you did not believe in me. Numbers 20:12. When God was angry with his people, it was because of their unbelief. God commanded them to enter the promised land, and the people refused to enter because they did not believe God's promise to take care of them. Psalm 106, verse 24. As a result, God did not let anyone enter the promised land. Deuteronomy 1, verse 35. His anger burned against Israel because they did not believe in God. Psalm 78, verses 21 to 22. The price paid for unbelief is always very high. Moses lost the promised land. His ministry was cut short, and his life ended prematurely. Israel wandered in the desert for 40 years before entering the promised land and was later taken into captivity. They did not believe in the Lord their God. Then the Lord became very angry with Israel and drove them out of his presence. 2 Kings 17, verses 14 to 18. How high is the price of unbelief? Remember the words of Jesus. Everything is possible for one who believes. Mark 9, verse 23.